Many times during war, soldiers are taken hostage and they call it prisoners of war. Imagine the horrors they went through as these soldiers relentlessly took their revenge on their hostages. Well, that is exactly what Thomas Norris of the US Navy SEAL did. He packed his bags and went inside the enemy lines, and what he did embarrassed the entire NVA. Who was he? What did he do? Watch till the end to know what exactly happened. In the spring of 1972, it was a critical moment during the winding down of the Vietnam War. The United States was in the process of bringing back its troops, and there were only a handful of American combat soldiers left in the country. At this stage, the majority of the military presence was centered around US air power, which played a pivotal role in the region. Alongside, there were military advisors who remained to assist and train the South Vietnamese forces, empowering them to carry on the fight independently. The situation was complex and marked a turning point in the conflict. The focus has shifted towards supporting and preparing the South Vietnamese troops to take charge and continue the war effort on their own. With the withdrawal of American combat forces, the responsibility fell upon the South Vietnamese soldiers to defend their country and carry forward the fight as the war approached its final phases. It was a time of transition where the hope lay in empowering the local forces to secure their own future amidst the changing dynamics of the war. Unfortunately, North Vietnam saw the withdrawal of American troops as an opportune moment. In late March 1972, they launched a full-scale invasion known as the Eastern Offensive. Ground troops, tanks, and artillery crossed the demilitarized zone, marking a significant escalation. The U.S. responded by deploying B-52 Stratofortress bombers and EB-66 destroyers, specialized electronic warfare aircraft capable of jamming missiles aimed at the bombers. Amidst the chaos, on April 2nd, an EB-66 aircraft was shot down just south of the demilitarized zone. Air Force Lieutenant Colonel Hamilton found himself as the sole survivor trapped in the midst of the enemy offensive. Desperate attempts were made by Army helicopters to rescue him, but tragically one of the helicopters was shot down, with no survivors, and the remaining ones were forced to retreat. Realizing that ground troops were necessary for rescue, U.S. military leaders turned to Thomas Norris, a highly skilled U.S. Navy SEAL still operating in the region. Norris, along with his team of 5 Vietnamese SEALs, eagerly accepted the mission. They embarked on their daring rescue operation on the night of the April 10th. The rescue effort faced immense challenges and risks. Over the course of 6 days, multiple air rescue attempts resulted in more than a dozen casualties and the loss or damage of 6 aircraft. 2 Americans were taken prisoner, and Lieutenant Clark, a pilot shot down earlier, was now stranded alongside Hamilton in enemy territory. Recognizing the gravity of the situation, U.S. military leaders determined that ground troops were the only viable option. Thomas Norris and a small team displayed unwavering courage and commitment as they embarked on the perilous mission to rescue the stranded pilots. With strategic consideration, Norris and his team prioritized rescuing Clark, the more recently downed pilot who was located in less hostile territory compared to Hamilton. However, reaching Clark required traversing over a mile of heavy controlled enemy terrain. Throughout the night, the team skillfully maneuvered around enemy units, relying on their expertise to evade detection. In the pitch-black darkness of the jungle, the team relied on their acute senses to locate Clark, who had been instructed to float down a river. Despite the absence of visual confirmation, they could hear Clark's labored breathing as he struggled to stay afloat. As day broke, the team finally discovered Clark in the water. Through their reassurance, they convinced him to trust their guidance, assuring him of his safety. Their mission was far from over, as they now had to navigate their way back through enemy territory without the cloak of darkness to shield them. Despite this added risk, the team deftly retraced their steps, ensuring they remained undetected. By skillfully adapting to the changing circumstances, they successfully returned to the forward operating base without being spotted. Once at the base, Clark was safely delivered to the medical aid station, allowing him to receive the necessary care. However, the respite was short-lived as the forward operating base fell under an enemy rocket and mortar attack later that day. The team's escape had been timely, as they managed to accomplish their mission and evade danger just in time. The attack on the forward operating base, although a daily occurrence, turned particularly deadly this time. Tragically, 2 Vietnamese SEALs who had participated in Clark's rescue lost their lives, and many others sustained severe injuries. Clark and the wounded were promptly evacuated by helicopter, while Norris and the remaining 3 Vietnamese SEALs made the courageous decision to persist with their mission. Despite their unwavering determination, Norris and his team faced 2 unsuccessful attempts to reach Hamilton over the course of 5 days. Hamilton, who had been relying on sporadic radio communication with Air Force Forward air controllers, who guided him from one hiding spot to another, aiming to lead him to a nearby river for an easier rescue by Norris. However, Hamilton's lack of access to survival packages airdropped for him had taken its toll, intensifying the urgency to locate him swiftly. With only one Vietnamese SEAL, Kit, remaining alongside Norris, they devised a brilliant plan. Disguising themselves as fishermen, they embarked on a daring journey down the river in a small Vietnamese canoe. Navigating through enemy territory, throughout the entire night, they encountered numerous enemy encampments, silently passing by as they remained hidden in plain sight. Their resourcefulness and resilience were put to the test as they embarked on this treacherous mission. The risks were high, but their determination to rescue the remaining pilots spurred them onward. And thankfully, the determined SEALs Norris and Kit successfully located Hamilton exactly where the forward air controller had indicated. With utmost care, they concealed the injured pilot in the bottom of their canoe, using life vests, bamboo, and vegetation to ensure his safety during their journey back to the forward operating base. Despite the numerous challenges they faced, their resourcefulness and resilience prevailed. As they made their way back, Norris and Kit skillfully evaded multiple enemy positions, including a nerve-wracking encounter with a North Vietnamese patrol. By employing their extensive training and stealthy maneuvers, they managed to avoid detection and continue their perilous mission. Approaching the relative safety of their forward operating base, their small craft became the target of heavy machine gun fire from a North Vietnamese bunker. Acting swiftly, the trio quickly beached their canoe and sought refuge in the nearby jungle. After ensuring the absence of enemy ground forces, Norris called in an airstrike which effectively neutralized the enemy bunker and provided a crucial smokescreen. Capitalizing on this opportunity, they swiftly returned to their canoe and safely reached the base. Upon arrival, Hamilton received the vital medical treatment he required and began his journey to recovery. Norris and Kit's undaunted courage and unwavering dedication to the cause played an instrumental role in ensuring the safe return of both pilots. Their remarkable actions embodied the true spirit of selflessness and heroism. 6 months later, during another combat mission, Norris was shot in the face, sustaining severe head injuries. Fortunately, his fellow Navy SEAL, Lieutenant Michael Thornton, came to his rescue, displaying exceptional bravery. Thornton's heroic efforts earned him the Medal of Honor, as he selflessly risked his life to save his comrade. Due to his injuries, including the loss of his left eye, Norris was medically retired from the military. However, his indomitable spirit remained undiminished. He underwent numerous surgeries over the span of several years as part of his rehabilitation process. Norris learned that he would be awarded the Medal of Honor for his extraordinary actions in the rescuing the 2 pilots, with the official ceremony taking place on March 6, 1976. In 1979, having received a disability waiver, Norris realized his long-held dream of becoming an FBI agent. He dedicated himself to serving the agency for 20 years, becoming an original member of its hostage rescue team and an esteemed assault team leader. His career in the FBI allowed him to contribute further to the cause of justice and public safety. Meanwhile, Kit, the Vietnamese SEAL who had played a crucial role in the rescue mission, became a U.S. citizen in 1984. He relocated to Seattle and embarked on a career at the Boeing Corporation, where he worked for nearly 2 decades before retiring in 2005. Kit's exceptional bravery and contributions were recognized with the Navy Cross, the highest award the United States Navy can bestow upon a foreign national. He stands as the only South Vietnamese Navy member to receive this distinguished honor for actions during the Vietnam War. In the years that followed, both Norris and Kit actively participated in various Navy and Medal of Honor events and discussions, sharing their experiences and celebrating the profound significance of the medal. Their stories continue to inspire countless individuals, serving as a testament to the unwavering courage, selflessness, and resilience displayed by those who serve in the face of extraordinary challenges.